Two of the sharpest political minds here, and this is the moment at which they would be telling Newt Gingrich, if they were advising him, what to say tonight, the notes to strike. Karl?
Well, what's got him this far is he's the conservative and Mitt Romney's the Massachusetts moderate. Needs to reemphasize that and broaden it out. He's also gotten here in part by taking on the media, so maybe tonight's the opportunity to proclaim his success as a result of that tactic, because it served him well in every one of these debates.
Are you serious? Would you rub it in?
Yeah, I'd rub it in. Look, I mean, it obviously gave him a big launch this week. 2 times in the first debate with Fox when he took on Juan Williams, and then when John King just threw him an easy, outside softball that he plastered out of the field. It's worked, and it's worked in the previous debates. You remember, he said things in every one of the earlier debates. We ought to not take on each other, but take on Obama, and we ought to take on the media.
Joe, I want to pick up on what Mitt Romney said, because I was struck at the fact that he really went after Newt Gingrich. He basically linked Obama to Gingrich. He said those who pick up the weapons of the left today will find them turned against us tomorrow, and those who disparage free enterprise, quote, are not fit to be our nominee. If you're Newt Gingrich, do you respond to that, or do you just rise above it?
Don't take the bait on that one. I don't think he should do that. I think he should rub it in the media, and then I think he should get on a plane, go straight to Florida, and say, I'm here to give Florida a choice, and really try to make this right now between him and Romney, and make him and clear out the rest of the field. That's what he's got to do right now. Get Santorum out of there.
Let's talk about something that Santorum said. His first line, 3 different winners for the first time: Iowa, Santorum; New Hampshire, Romney; South Carolina, Gingrich. What does that say, Karl, about this field of candidates, and what does it say about the way Republican voters view them? Yeah,
it says we have a very volatile year, probably the most volatile Republican primary season I've ever seen. Real quick, just since 1980.
Let me just say, folks, he's been dying to use the whiteboard.
Yes,
Go ahead,
exactly.
Karl.
Since 1980, the South Carolina primary, the average winning number has been 45%, and the average winning margin is 17%. By comparison, in Iowa,
let me just say, right now, Gingrich has got 41%, but he's ahead by 15, so he's kind of in the historical
ballpark. But let's be careful before we turn this into, oh my God, it's the most historic thing that's ever happened. What happened here is the guy who came in 5th in New Hampshire coming first to South Carolina. The nature of the victory in South Carolina is very much in line with what historically has been there for the
All right, now you were going to point out the other states.
Just Iowa, look at this. In Iowa this year, 24.6% was the winning number.
That was what Santorum got.
And his winning margin is less than 1/10%. In New Hampshire, it's a 39% win for Romney, 16 points better than the next guy up. And incidentally, 30 points better than Newt Gingrich did in that state. So I mean, tonight we're going to be roughly in this area for both.
So what you seem to be saying is, nice win for Gingrich, but let's not rush to make.
Look. This thing is going to go on and on and on. Republicans want it to go on, and I'm sure everybody owns a television station in the upcoming primaries wants it to as well.
Go ahead, John.
These things are all about momentum, particularly in these early states. Santorum should have had momentum coming out of Iowa. You're not known. You don't have any money. You win Iowa to get that. Once it goes away from you, you never get it back. Not out of Iowa. So right now, the guy with the momentum is Newt Gingrich, and that's got to scare the daylights out of the Romney camp. Yeah, but because that can just keep rolling on you for a few more of these states. It'll roll back to Romney potentially, but right now, Newt has it.
Let me ask you just very quickly, though, about Florida, Karl. The Real Clear Politics average, now I know this is going to change, but prior to tonight, Romney was ahead by 18 points. You said he spent $7 million already, and there are 200,000 people have already voted. How much of a lead, a head start, does Romney have in Florida?
That gives him an advantage. And look, here's the real question. How much attention do each one of these subsequent primaries pay to the previous primary?
So far, not much.
And so far, not much. What they pay attention to is the debates and the activities of the campaign in between. Now, is 10 days going to be enough for Newt Gingrich to catch up in Florida? I don't know. Conventional wisdom would say no, but we'll see here, won't we?
But he was able to turn the world around in 5 days in South Carolina. Back to you guys in New York.
Chris, one question for you, and to ask Karl, and I don't know if he has an IFB in or not, but he's pointing out that the difference is not that big, and that we shouldn't go overboard about how big a win this is for Newt Gingrich. But historically, South Carolina has had the winner of the nomination. I mean, if you look down the list, that's still pretty significant.
That's right, with one important corollary. The winner in South Carolina has always won either Iowa or New Hampshire. And again, we're in uncharted territory now. Nobody has won the kind of structure we've set up so far, meaning the first 3 contests have gone to 3 different candidates.